the superheroes like Superman, Batman, Superwoman even. Yes, I did mention Superwoman. But do you think Chennai's moms have it in them to be called Chennai Supermom? I'm going to go inside and find out just that. I think all moms are super moms. So, how does one pick just one winner? It wasn't an enviable task for the three lovely judges at Velamal Presents the Hindus Super Mom Contest.
Well, I think they have different rounds. They had the IQ round, then they had a dance performance, then they had where they walked down the ramp. And the most interesting, of course, was even where they had to do a different project, which probably related to the school or whatever the kids are used to doing. So it's been very nice, and I think it's nice to see the women feel so liberated. You know, let your hair down, have some fun, and just get away from your kitchen and your daily chores and just come and have a good time.
A tough selection it was. For every mom on stage was someone unique. You had bikers, software engineers, doctors, copywriters, even a pregnant captain. The level of competition was high, and it was obvious these moms wanted to win. And so, compete fiercely they did.
I think everyone can be a supermom, you know. I think what supermom is just that what we do in everyday lives. And I think this is one event that brings that out. As a woman of today, you know, there are so many things that we have to handle. And I think it's important that the woman being the most important in a family, to hold it together as a unit, you have to look after their health, their needs, their education sense of it, their community sense of it. So there's so many aspects of it. And I think if we look at all those aspects, I think every woman today is actually a part of being a superwoman.
Guys have done a great job thus far. Thank you. What is the most nerve-wracking moment of today?
They call up on the numbers, so we were really scared, are we going to get selected? Because the number was really huge. Out of the 78, only 30, then 15, then 5. So I'm happy that I'm here.
The moms swapped their mundane routines for a fun-packed evening of competitions, from designing saris to creating fancy dresses for their kids. The health-conscious mom also planned a diet chart for the family, all the while being looked on by adoring husbands.
When you take about 5 years ago, as you said, it wasn't there, no competition, no extracurricular activities for women. There were a lot of men doing a lot of things, and women were at home and doing only household duties and things. But now we can see women doing a lot of things being a sportswoman or as an actor or entrepreneur or doctor, anything you take it, or when it comes to media, you can see many girls and ladies coming up doing different kind of things in the industry.
Flipping through the pages of a history book, it's unlikely you'd find the name Gauhar Jan. So bringing to life those pieces of history that are forgotten, it's left up to authors like Vikram Sampath who go back in time to research and vividly bring to life the life of Gauhar Jan. An unlikely couple, you'd say. Flamboyant Gauhar and shy Vikram. But the 19th century singer certainly did steal Vikram's heart the moment he came across her name in a pile of papers some 4 years ago. A musician himself, Vikram was so captivated by her story that he spent 2 years juggling a full-time job as a financial analyst and researching the life and times of the first empress of the Tumri and the first woman to have her voice captured on a record. Read her story in My Name is Gauhar Jan The Life and Times of a Musician.
I think that's a bane of India, where we tend to forget people who have contributed so much, especially in the field of arts. Public memory is very ephemeral. It lasts for a very short while. As long as the person is alive and he or she is being spoken about, written about, people remember them. But even someone like her, who was a national and an international celebrity, in a day and age when there was no PR, there was no media, today she's sadly unacknowledged and almost forgotten.
Vikram's mission took him on a whirlwind journey from his home in Bangalore to Gauhar Jan's birthplace Azamgarh, and then to Calcutta where she lived, and finally to Mysore where she spent the last days of her life under the patronage of the Wadiyars.
A biographer of a dead woman like Gauhar would always hope and wish that all that he has written is something that is closest to, what he would have got if he had interviewed her and probably, got out of her. But I think somewhere through this entire journey, she was guiding me in from some hidden place, and so to a large extent I think I've managed to unearth several documents related to her which were hitherto unknown. So my name is Gauhar Jan. The Life and Times of a Musician is certainly a very authentic biography of hers.
At Vikram's book launch at the Taj Coromandel, a distinguished audience of book lovers listened spellbound to stories of Gauhar Jan's courage, talent, her extraordinary journey through life, her extravagant lifestyle, and her excesses. Vikram spoke about the challenges he faced while researching for the book, primarily the disorganized way in which documents of historical importance are archived in our country.
What needs to be done is documentation of the lives, the works of great musicians is necessary, and now not only through books, but now we find that even through their music is being digitized. Technology has enabled all this, but she was ahead of her time.
The books were there one minute, gone the next, as Chennai's book lovers and history and musician enthusiasts lapped it up before the evening was through.
I think I'll read it because it's about an artist's life. I myself have been a writer, biographer of M.S. Subbulakshmi, and I think artists' lives are fantastic and so different. One is different from the other, and somebody so legendary like her, it's definitely worth a read.
I think the Bais and the Devdasis in the south have done a tremendous job, and we've had our own Bangalore Nagaratnama, and I've been very inspired by the book on her. So I think as a woman, as a musician, as a person of tremendous social standing and talent, she was really an icon of her times, and I think that's sufficient reason to read the book.
Gauhar Jan herself. I'm familiar with her recordings, and I'm actually a research scholar who's done work on history of gramophone recordings, particularly in South India. So this is a very professional interest of mine, and with leading likes like Mutaya, local historians, and Sri Ram involved in it, there was no chance I was going to miss it.
This particular book has got 3 layers of content, according to me. One is the direct story of Gauhar Jan, where she was born, how she learned music, and what happens, the travails of a musician's life, the ups and downs and all that. On another level, it also traces the growth of this art form called Tumri, Khayal, how Drupad changed into Khayal and then became Tumri and all of that. So it traces a lot of the main fabric that Hindustani music is made of. On another level, it also traces the history of Indian music as such, how music was same throughout India, how because of the Mughal influence, the music in the north changed in texture and style and presentation and content, and how it has adapted itself from the Zamindar's time to the courts of the kings, and then how when the Britishers came, how it changed, and then how the advent of technology affected music when the gramophone records came, and also it also talks about the life of lady musicians.
My name is Gauhar Jan. Having sold 32 copies right here at the launch itself, it looks like this book is heading to become a bestseller. Having beautiful pictures as well as a complimentary CD of Gauhar Jan's music, this is definitely a piece that I think a lot of people are going to be proud having on their bookshelves. Captain Gopinath up close and personal.